What's up, guys? Team Horizon here. I'm doing a deck profile for you today. This one is, you may have played it, a lot of people are trying it out, and it's Ancient Dragons. A lot of people play the deck, but don't really understand it, and I'll get to that in a minute. I'll talk about the starter first, since it's here. If it's sent to the drop zone by any way, you counterblast one, and you get this guy. 11k grade 3 by killing a grade 0. He's the better starter in comparison to Baby Terra, because you don't need to get Tyranno Legend right off the bat. You'd want to get Spino Driver, that's what you want your first ride to be. Baby Terra, it just doesn't seem very consistent to me. I haven't really tried it out, so I wouldn't know. Then for the grade 3s, obviously, we got 4 Tyranno, 4 Spino. Spino Driver is one of my favorite break rides in the game. You break ride it, gets plus 10k like everything else. It also gets a crit. You kill 2, and you draw 2 more. This lets you easily fix your field if you had to call triggers for early game pushes, and it lets you get rid of excess grade 3s to draw other cards, like triggers to guard with or something. Or anything to attack with, really. Tyranno Legend. Lots of people have mixed feelings about this card. Some people say it's bad, some people say it's good. I personally only use it once, maybe once a game. Maybe twice if I absolutely need to. Because to kill 3, unless I have 2 Iguana Gorgs to use it with, it's not worth it most of the time. And usually, by then, most of the counterblasts will be taken over. So, I'll show you what to use the counterblast for. Well, I play this deck a lot differently than most people. Grade 2s. Fix them. 3 of the Creofall 10k Vanilla. 4 of the Lane Pusher. 4 Ancient Dragon Dino Crowd. By far, my favorite. This is the best card in the deck, in my opinion. Tyrant Ancient Dragon plus 4k. Can easily make 21 columns. Can easily attack cross rides by itself, and combines with Iguana Gorg to make outstanding columns, synergy, all of that sorts of things. But what really makes him one of the best cards in this deck is that he can turn anything into a 5k boost. Grade 3. Just call a random grade 3 anywhere. Just put it in the back row. Kill it. It's 14k attack. Especially if you don't have boosters. Grade 3s become basically draw trigger boosters for a turn. Technically you do minus yourself, but I think the power gain is worth it. Now don't yell at me for this, but I have 1 Archbird because I haven't been able to find the other Paris wall. I kind of want to play the 4th one, but I don't really see a need to, since he doesn't show up in the damage to actually do anything. Then the second most important card of the deck that you need to play 4 of if you want this deck to work. Iguana Gorg. You counterblast it, you kill it, you counterblast it, and you put it in as stand. And you got the grade 1 version of Dino Crowd, Gatling Garrow. Gatling Garrow, another amazing card, but I find I only use him maybe once or twice, because the 12k attack doesn't really do much against the cross ride format that we're heading into. So I might drop him down to 2 and buff up another one of these, which is the 10k attacker. We have Ancient Dragon Vanguard plus 3k. Now for the triggers. This is kind of where my deck deviates from almost everyone else's. You got the staple 4 draw. I mean, not 4 draw, 4 heal. That's in pretty much every deck now. I play 5 draw triggers, 4 of the Ancient Dragon and 1 of him because I can slide him into Soul and give plus 3k to something. And this is where it gets kind of weird. I play 7 stand triggers. 4 of the Ancient Dragon, 3 of whatever Tiny Rex. Doesn't really matter about the name. The reason why I play stands over crits is I find that stands make better use of this guy and Iguanagorg. You can make so many more plays with these 2 cards and a stand trigger than you could ever do with crits. Like for instance, one of the more popular, not more popular I should say, more consistent attacks would be, doesn't really matter about the Vanguard. Say you have, this is Vanguard, don't worry about it. You got this column, and you have this. So, you have attack with this, then you attack your Vanguard, you get a stand trigger. You stand this, and you give it power. This will be a 12k attack for the turn. And then this would be a 9k. But, because of Dinocrad's skill, you can kill the back row one, and then call it again, and then you basically have another free attack at full power, plus he gets a power up for a counterblast of 1, plus the stand trigger. Some people say I rely too much on the stand triggers, but you don't really necessarily need them because these call a stand. So even if he was running like a 7k like Vanguard, turn 1, say you went first. I go, they go. Since they gave me a damage, attack with that for 7, unboosted, attack with the Vanguard, and then attack with this, even without the stand trigger. You kill this, he gets a power up, and then you call this again, and you have another 14k attack. The pressure that this deck can give is amazing, but it's not as consistent as it could be. I'm hoping this deck gets more support in the future, but as of now, this is my main deck, and probably will be for a long time, and I'm really hoping to use this deck at, like, regionals, Team League, and all sorts of things. That's the deck. Hope you enjoyed, and I'm going to try to make more videos in the future, so, see ya.